Three women, three destinies. One question that's shaking the entire WWE universe to its core. Becky Lynch, the battle-tested warrior. Tiffany Stratton, the rising phenomenon. Stephanie Vaquer, the international sensation. Are they destined to lead the next era of women's wrestling? Or will their paths collide in the most explosive rivalry WWE has ever witnessed? What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about the future of WWE. This is their story. The lights dim, the crowd roars, and when that music hits, everyone knows the man has arrived. Becky Lynch didn't just break through the glass ceiling of WWE. She shattered it into a million pieces. She did it with blood, sweat, and an unrelenting fire that burned brighter than anyone else in the locker room. From the last kicker to the face of WrestleMania, Becky's journey has been nothing short of legendary. But here's the question that keeps the WWE Universe awake at night. Is her era coming to an end? Or is she about to enter the most defining chapter of her career? Let's rewind. Think back to that iconic moment at WrestleMania 35. Becky Lynch standing tall in the center of the ring. Both championships raised high, tears streaming down her face as confetti rained from the rafters. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. It was proof that women could main event the biggest show on earth and deliver a moment that would echo through history. But legends aren't built on one moment. They're forged through adversity, through comebacks, through the willingness to evolve when the industry demands it. Becky took time away. She became a mother. She stepped back from the spotlight, and the wrestling world wondered if she'd ever return to form. Then she came back not as the same Becky, but as something even more dangerous, more focused, more calculated. Today, Becky Lynch stands at a crossroads. On one side, there's the path of mentorship, guiding the next generation, becoming the veteran who elevates the locker room. On the other side, there's the warrior's path, staying at the top, refusing to let anyone take her throne. And here's where it gets interesting. Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer represent both sides of that crossroads. Tiffany is everything WWE wants in a future star. Young, charismatic, athletic, and dripping with confidence that borders on arrogance. She doesn't just want Becky's spot, she believes she deserves it. And Stephanie Vaquer. She's the international force that WWE desperately needs. A proven champion from Stardom and CMLL, she brings a style and credibility that can bridge continents. The WWE Universe is split. Some believe Becky should pass the torch. Others think she has years left at the top. But one thing is certain. Becky Lynch doesn't give up anything without a fight. And if Tiffany and Vaquer want to lead the women's division, they'll have to go through the man first. Before we dive deeper, hit that like button if you think Becky Lynch still has what it takes to dominate. And drop a comment. Should Becky mentor the next generation or defend her legacy at all costs? Let's hear your take. The stage is set. The revolution is brewing. And Becky Lynch is right in the center of it all. If confidence could be bottled and sold, Tiffany Stratton would be a billionaire. From the moment she stepped into the WWE Performance Center, Tiffany carried herself differently. She didn't walk into rooms, she commanded them. With her gymnastics background, natural athleticism, and a personality that screams superstar, Tiffany Stratton has been positioned as WWE's golden ticket for the future. But potential means nothing in this business. You have to deliver. And Tiffany, she's been delivering in ways that have even the harshest critics nodding in approval. Let's talk about her NXT run. Tiffany didn't just win the NXT Women's Championship, she owned it. Every defense was a masterclass in psychology. Every promo dripped with the kind of heel charisma that makes fans love to hate her. She wasn't trying to be the next Charlotte Flair or the next Alexa Bliss. She was carving out her own lane, and that's what separates good wrestlers from generational talents. Then came the main roster call-up. The moment every NXT star dreams about and fears in equal measure. Because history is filled with cautionary tales of NXT champions who faltered under the bright lights of Raw and SmackDown. But Tiffany? She hasn't just survived, she's thrived. Her Money in the Bank cash-in moment sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. The way she manipulates situations, plays mind games with champions, and strategically positions herself for maximum impact shows a wrestling IQ far beyond her years. But here's the reality check. Being a future star and being a leader are two completely different things. Leadership isn't just about winning championships. It's about carrying the locker room. It's about showing up when the cameras aren't rolling. It's about inspiring the next wave of talent while still competing at the highest level. Can Tiffany Stratton do that? The comparisons to Trish Stratus and Michelle McCool are already floating around. Both were gorgeous, confident, and could back it up in the ring. But they also knew how to elevate their opponents, how to tell stories that mattered, how to make the audience feel something real. Tiffany has the tools. The question is whether she has the heart. And then there's the elephant in the room, her relationship with Becky Lynch and Stephanie Vaquer. In recent weeks, tensions have been simmering. Backstage reports suggest that Tiffany views Becky as past her prime, a relic of the Four Horsewomen era who refuses to step aside, and Vaquer. Tiffany sees her as an outsider, someone who hasn't earned her spot in WWE the way homegrown talent has. This arrogance could be her greatest weapon, or her ultimate downfall. Because if Tiffany underestimates either Becky or Vaquer, she'll learn a painful lesson that many before her have learned. Respect isn't given in WWE, it's taken. Is Tiffany Stratton overhyped or the real deal? Smash that comment section and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe, we're breaking down every twist in this story. Tiffy time is here. But does time run out for even the brightest stars? She didn't need WWE to become a star. She was already one. Stephanie Vaquer's arrival in WWE wasn't just a signing, it was a statement. A statement that WWE is serious about global expansion. A statement that the women's division is hungry for fresh matchups. Most importantly, a statement that you don't have to come up through the Performance Center to be a legitimate force in this company. Let's break down Vaquer's pedigree. Before stepping foot in a WWE ring, she was tearing down houses in Stardom, one of the most respected women's wrestling promotions on the planet. She held championship gold in CMLL, proving she could adapt to Lucha Libre's high-flying, fast-paced style. Her matches weren't just athletic exhibitions, they were art. She told stories without saying a word, using movement, emotion, and timing that only comes from years of dedication to the craft. When WWE announced her signing, the internet exploded. Hardcore fans who'd followed her career for years celebrated. Casual fans Googled her name and immediately understood the hype. In the WWE locker room, they knew a game-changer had just entered the building. But here's where Stephanie Vaquer's story gets complicated. WWE is a different beast. The style is different. The schedule is brutal. The politics are real. Many international stars have come to WWE with massive reputations only to get lost in the shuffle. Will Vaquer be different? Early signs suggest yes. Her debut matches have been nothing short of spectacular. She's already had show-stealing performances with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair. WWE Universe is invested. The Vaquer train is gaining momentum, but there's one major obstacle standing in her way: perception. Some wrestlers backstage view her as an indie darling who got a golden opportunity. Others see her as WWE's latest attempt to capitalize on international markets without truly investing in character development. And then there are those who respect her in-ring work but question whether she can cut promos, handle storylines, and connect with WWE's massive mainstream audience. This is where Becky Lynch becomes crucial. Becky has always been an advocate for women's wrestling, regardless of where someone came from. If Becky endorses Vaquer, it could fast-track her to main event status. But if Becky sees her as a threat, we could witness one of the most intense rivalries of the modern era. And Tiffany Stratton has already thrown shade at Vaquer in interviews, suggesting that real WWE superstars are built in the Performance Center, not imported from Japan and Mexico. The tension is real. The collision is inevitable. Stephanie Vaquer didn't come to WWE to be just another name on the roster. She came to prove that wrestling is a universal language, and she speaks it fluently. Whether WWE is ready for her level of excellence is another question entirely. Do you think Stephanie Vaquer will become WWE champion? Vote in the poll and tell us who you think will reach the top first: Becky, Tiffany, or Vaquer. The world is watching. And Vaquer is ready to deliver it. It started with a look, a stare down after a match, comment in an interview. Now it's spiraling into something WWE can't ignore. Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, and Stephanie Vaquer are on a collision course that could redefine the women's division for the next decade. And here's the beautiful chaos of it all. There's no clear hero or villain. Each woman has a legitimate claim to leadership. Each brings something unique to the table. and each refuses to back down. Let's start with the spark that lit the fire, that backstage confrontation 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. Cameras caught Tiffany laughing dismissively when Vaquer's name was mentioned in a promo meeting. Becky noticed. Vaquer noticed. And the tension in that room could have been cut with a knife. What happened next wasn't aired, but backstage sources say Becky confronted Tiffany directly, reminding her that respect is earned, not inherited. Tiffany, never one to bite her tongue, fired back. She questioned why WWE was bringing in outsiders when homegrown talent like herself was ready to lead. She accused Becky of being stuck in the past, clinging to relevance instead of gracefully stepping aside. The words cut deep, because there's truth buried in the insult, and Becky knew it. Vaquer stayed silent during the exchange, not because she was intimidated, but because she's been in this position before. Every promotion she's entered, there's been resistance. Jealousy disguises tradition. Gatekeeping disguises paying your dues. She's learned that actions speak louder than words. And when her opportunity comes, she let her performance do the talking. But WWE thrives on conflict. And Triple H, always the master strategist, is reportedly planning a multi-month angle that puts these 3 women at the forefront of programming. Imagine this, a triple threat feud where alliances shift, betrayals sting, and each woman gets moments to shine. 1 week, Becky and Vaquer team up against Tiffany's arrogance. The next, Vaquer and Tiffany unite against Becky's establishment status. Then everyone turns on each other. The WWE Universe is already fantasy booking dream matches. Becky versus Tiffany in a submission match where pride is on the line. Vaquer versus Tiffany in a high-stakes championship bout that proves who truly deserves the spotlight. Becky versus Vaquer in a technical masterpiece that steals WrestleMania. The possibilities are endless. Behind the scenes, there's genuine respect. Becky has praised both women in interviews, acknowledging their talent while making it clear she's not ready to pass any torches. Tiffany, despite her public persona, has admitted in off-the-record conversations that working with Becky has elevated her game in Vaquer. She's just grateful to be on the biggest stage in wrestling, competing against the best. But respect doesn't stop competition. It fuels it. Who do you want to see face off first? Comment your dream match. And if you're loving this deep dive, share this video with your WWE-obsessed friends. The collision is coming. And when these 3 titans clash, the entire industry will feel the impact. So here we are. The question that started this journey: are Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, and Stephanie Vaquer WWE's next women leaders? The answer isn't simple, because leadership in WWE isn't about one person carrying the banner. It's about elevating the entire division. It's about creating moments that transcend wrestling and enter pop culture. It's about inspiring young girls around the world to believe they can be anything they want to be. Becky Lynch has already proven she can lead. She's main-evented WrestleMania. She's sold out arenas. She's transcended wrestling to become a household name. But can she evolve into the veteran leader who builds the next generation while still performing at an elite level? That's the challenge ahead of her. Legends like Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho mastered this transition. Becky has the charisma and heart to do the same if she chooses that path. Tiffany Stratton represents WWE's future in the most traditional sense. She's young, marketable, and has the it factor that can't be taught. But she's at a critical point in her career. Will she mature into a well-rounded performer who can carry feuds, cut compelling promos, and deliver in big moments? Or will she remain a talented wrestler who never quite reaches her full potential? The next 18 months will determine her trajectory. Stephanie Vaquer is the wild card. She brings international credibility, a unique style, and a fan base that spans continents. If WWE invests in her properly, giving her meaningful storylines, protecting her strengths, and allowing her personality to shine, she could become the bridge that connects WWE to global markets in unprecedented ways. But if WWE fumbles her booking, she'll become another what could have been story. Here's the truth that the WWE Universe needs to understand. All 3 women can lead. Wrestling doesn't need one chosen savior. It needs a diverse roster of stars who each bring something different to the table. Becky brings legacy and fire. Tiffany brings youth and confidence. Vaquer brings international flair and technical mastery. The real question isn't who will lead. It's how they'll coexist. Will they form an unexpected alliance against common enemies? Will they tear each other apart in a rivalry for the ages? Will they respect each other enough to elevate the division together? WWE is entering a new era. It's an era where women don't just deserve equal billing, they demand it. It's an era where international stars aren't novelties, but necessities. An era where the next generation doesn't wait for permission, they take what's theirs. Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, and Stephanie Vaquer are at the center of this revolution. The WWE Universe gets to witness history unfold in real time. If you made it this far, you're a true Ring Legends fan. Drop A in the comments, subscribe for more deep dives, hit that notification bell, because this story is just getting started. Who's your pick to lead WWE's women's division? Let us know below. The future is here, and it's absolutely electric.